What's up, guys, and welcome to the first episode of Storytime. Now, before I get into anything, if you guys do at the end like this, drop a like in the video, and also any other stories that you guys want me to tell, just put in the comment section. That would be greatly appreciated. Today, I'm telling the story about why I quit baseball as a kid, and this is one of the stories that a lot of people in my personal life don't really understand this either. I imagine there'll be some people who I know in real life who will watch this and probably have answers that I've never really told them IRL. So it's important for me to start off with like the beginning, where baseball all started for me, where my love of baseball in a city. A lot of people question this. I'm Canadian, right? I don't like to play hockey. I loved baseball and football growing up. I loved all American sports. How that happened was my sisters played fastball. So I don't know if you guys know what fastball is. It's like what Jenny Finch was famous for pitching. It's like underhand. I remember every single game, me and my dad would go to the park and we would play catch the whole entire time. Some of my best memories, he would throw me fly balls, and he said my dad said from the time I was like 1 or 2, I loved playing catch. It was just my favorite thing to do. He said he'd sit in the living room and throw a ball at me for just hours on end, and I would never get bored. Like, it was the strangest thing. He said I would never, ever get sick of playing catch. So, going to those games, I obviously was showing at a pretty young age that I was pretty coordinated. I could catch a ball. I have some like cousins and stuff who were struggling to catch it. Like, I don't remember how this all came up. My dad was saying that I was like just ahead in terms of being like, I was the most coordinated kid that he had kind of seen at that age. I don't know how to explain it that well. So I started playing baseball like anyone, playing t-ball. That was like my first, actually I think my first year was the automatic pitch, where it just like, it shoots out the ball. It was the first year that it was like this big fancy machine. It'd be like 3, 2, 1, and I obviously had a decent year with that. There was no like, you switch positions ever since I was very, very young. But when I really like realized that baseball could be like in my future and that I really wanted to keep playing, was the first ever time that I made the best team. So I was coming in, never played competitive baseball before, and I end up making like the top team at that age group. That is where life really opened up. Now, I had already been exposed to like the traveling thing through hockey, playing hockey my whole life. I obviously know what it was like to travel to various cities all the time. But baseball, like when you first get on that first travel team, you kind of understand. And I just loved it. I love the atmosphere. I love the culture. In hockey, it's all like boom, boom, boom. Parents freaking out, parents screaming. Baseball was such a calming atmosphere. And that was what I loved so much about it. From the very beginning, I played all the way through. I would say, like, to describe myself as a ball player, if I were to give you guys will see my swing. It's not terrible. I was better in my younger ages. Like, I was like probably one of the top players on most of the team. I remember for a few years I hit 4th on quite a few teams. As I got older though, like into like the 13, 14s, I started outgrowing my body. So this is the first team that I ever didn't make. Was the first time I ever didn't make the top team was this random year where I grew like, I used to not be that, I'm 6'4" now, I used to not be that tall. I grew a bunch and I was so slow and I just lost all of my coordination. It was the weirdest year. It happened in football too. I was terrible at sports that entire season. So that was the only year I didn't make the top team. And then I bounced back in the next season by making an even tougher team, which was like the highlight. So I'm going to talk about that because that leads right into the quitting. So pretty much it's called Midget AAA. It's the highest baseball in, I guess, Canada, in all of Canada. And I went into it, I was 14 years old. Because I'm a December birthday, I have a huge disadvantage. You guys probably understand, huge disadvantage. I end up making the team somehow. I obviously didn't play very much, but I did get some innings pitching, quite a few innings actually, because I had a nasty, nasty curveball. I was able to throw a 12-6 curveball that I developed in the backyard of my best friend's like house. We just one day, like through the summers of playing baseball, I just started practicing like random pitches, random pitches, random pitches. I came up with this curveball that was absolutely nasty. Like, it just felt so good coming out of my hand. Everything was good about it. And I used that. I couldn't throw very hard because I wasn't that big and I was a lot younger, but I actually struck out an MLB prospect who is now, I believe, in A or AA. I know I struck him out with the curveball. I remember his face was like, he's like, how did that even just happen? Because I wasn't overpowering him. I just threw him like 3 straight curveballs and he was so shook on each and every one of them. It was absolutely amazing. So moving on to the next part of the video that I want to talk about is what happened in between that season and me quitting in the next season. So I quit when I was, I think, 15 years old. I still had about 3 more years to play. And one day I woke up, I'll just tell you exactly what I did. I woke up, I called my coach, and I said I quit. And I haven't played competitive baseball since that day, since I was 15 years old. Why? I'm gonna probably boil this down to 3 different reasons. The first reason that I quit was the reason that I'm least proud of. I would say the reason that I regret the most. Like, if I ever look back and think about it, like, I knew the day that I quit that I was okay with it. I had, like, completely become okay with it. The first reason I quit, there's better reasons, there's, like, football, all this stuff. I just kind of wanted a normal life in the summer. I wanted to be able to go to the lake with my family. I wanted to go boating more. Every single weekend was consumed. Like, literally every single weekend. It was because of the city I live in. We were traveling 1 to 2 hours every weekend, double headers constantly. And I remember I got the schedule and I was sitting outside on like our deck furniture, and all I could think about was just like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I had just finished a football season in which I had the best sporting season of my life in football. I had basketball, I had all this stuff happening, and I was like, now I gotta go do this. So I end up going to the tryouts. I make the team, so I'm on the team once again, set up for the season. And like I said, I ended up quitting after I made the team. So for the first reason, I kind of wanted a normal story. The second reason, which I am least proud of, the one that no one probably knows, at the time I was dating a girl, we're not together anymore. And I think part of it was I wanted to spend more time with her. I wanted to be able to hang out more. And that is something I will say a million times over. If you're going to learn anything, just never do that. We're not together anymore. I have an amazing other girlfriend that I've been with for like almost 3 years now. The one I'm with now is absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter, but at that time, for some reason, I just wanted to spend more time and I gave up something. And that's the reason I'm least proud. Nobody knows about the reason because I would never openly admit that it had anything to do with my decision when I made the decision. Third reason was football. Football. Boom. This is how you throw a baseball. This is how you throw a football. I remember after the baseball season when I was 15 going back to football and my coach yelling quack when I would throw the football because all I was throwing was ducks. He literally, every time I throw, was quack because I could not get the motion. It took me about a month to get back to where I was with football just to go back to baseball where I was messed up again. So I kind of had to pick baseball, football. I chose football. Now I'm going to talk about my thoughts now about the whole decision. Do I regret it? Those are like the main 3 reasons. In life, I want to kind of like, this is one of the things that I want to talk about in this video. In life, I don't think it's good to have regrets. It's already happened. The choice has been made. I have to live with that decision my whole life. I can't sit here and be the guy who says, oh, well, what it could have been, I could have been such an amazing ball player. I don't want to think, I don't think I would have went as far with baseball as I did with football. But I have to be able to look myself in the mirror and not let it affect my day-to-day because life's too short to look back with regrets. To think, oh, I could have played baseball, I could have went to college. No, I don't think about this. I think of all the amazing things that happened after and that I was able to do through YouTube and stuff like that I don't regret. In a way, potentially I was kind of growing into my body at that time. I would have gotten up to like 6'4". I think I could have been a pretty good pitcher. But don't live your life with regrets, you guys. People are going to come up to you and be like, oh, do you regret that decision? No. Never. I've never once said that I regret any decision that I've made because at the time it seemed like the best decision. And sometimes those decisions, if I would have kept playing baseball, I never would have got a football scholarship. I never would have went across the country to play football. I never would have met my amazing girlfriend. So every single decision you make leads into something else. In life, it's too short. I would say don't be stupid like I was. Play sports as long as you can. That's the one thing I would say because I do miss the competitive side of baseball. I'll never get to go back and play those 2 years of baseball. I'll never get those back as long as I live. But what I can say is through making that decision, I was able to do other things and I don't regret it whatsoever. But just to add to that, play sports as long as you can because they're super fun. And at some point you might not regret it, but you might think back and say, oh, maybe I shouldn't have quit. Overall, that's the story of why I quit baseball. Baseball was my absolute favorite sport growing up, and I just stopped it 1 year. And it really threw, like, people who are close to me were so shook. Like, uncles, aunts, like, had no idea what was happening. They're like, he quit. And I was so, the same thing that happened when I quit football, which I will touch on that story potentially if you guys want another story time. It was the day after that you realize, why do you play a sport? And I'm closing with this. If you're playing a sport for anyone but yourself and you're miserable, this was my hockey experience. Everyone played hockey, so I played hockey. I hated every minute of it, but everyone said that I should be playing hockey. Then don't play it. Life's too short. It's your decision. Don't play anything for anyone else. Do what makes you happy, but play sports as long as you can. God bless you guys. This is my first story time. I enjoyed this video. Probably no one will watch this, but I still enjoyed doing it. God bless you guys. Thank you for watching. That's why I quit baseball.